Have you ever noticed how the compliments you give women don't always land the way you expect? Think about it. How many times have you looked at a woman and told her, "You're beautiful," only to get that polite little smile, a quick, "thank you," and then silence? You know the look. The smile that feels like the end of the conversation, not the start of one. The truth is, if she's even remotely attractive, she's been told she's beautiful 1,000 times this week. To her, that compliment isn't exciting. It's background noise. It's like telling a professional singer, "You have a nice voice." Sure, it's nice, but it's not memorable. It doesn't stick. And here's the part most men don't realize. Ordinary compliments don't build attraction. In fact, they often kill it. They solve the puzzle too quickly. "You're pretty." Puzzle solved. "You're funny." Puzzle solved. "You're smart." Puzzle solved. That's it. There's no curiosity left, no spark, no tension. Nothing for her mind to grab onto later. But what if your words didn't solve the puzzle? What if they created one? What if instead of giving her the answer, you left her with a question she couldn't stop thinking about even days later? That's exactly what happens when you use what I call the forbidden compliments. These aren't the typical lines that flatter her vanity for a few seconds and then disappear. These are compliments that touch something deeper. Her emotions, her sense of mystery, her identity. They make her wonder what you see in her. They make her want to prove you right. And more importantly, they flip the dynamic so she's the one investing in you. If you've ever asked yourself why your compliments don't stick, or why some guys seem to say the simplest things and still leave a lasting impression, this is why. It's not about trying harder or being smoother. It's about using psychology. Once you understand these compliments, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. And once you use them, I promise you, women will never look at you the same way again either. So, let's start with the first one. And I'll warn you, when you hear it, you might think, that sounds almost too simple. But once I explain why it works, you'll realize it's psychological gold. The first forbidden compliment is this: "You have this energy about you that I can't quite put my finger on." Now, let me show you why this works better than anything else. Most guys hand women the conclusion on a silver platter. "You're pretty. You're funny. You're smart. End of story." She feels good in the moment, but it's predictable. There's no depth. But when you say, "You have this energy I can't quite put my finger on," you're creating a puzzle. And here's what happens instantly in her mind. What energy? What does he see in me? What makes me different? Why can't he explain it? And just like that, you're in her head. She starts replaying your words, turning them over, wondering about them. And every time she thinks about that compliment, she thinks about you. I'll give you a real example. I was at a party once. Most guys said the usual. "You look amazing tonight." "That's a nice dress." Predictable, right? But one guy looked at me and said, "You know what? You have this energy that makes people around you relax. I noticed it the second you walked in." Do you know what happened? I thought about that compliment for weeks. Not hours, not days, weeks. I kept wondering, was it my smile? The way I carried myself? The way I talked to people? What did he notice that others didn't? And every single time that thought came back, so did he. That's the power of this compliment. Now here's the key. Timing. Don't just walk up to a stranger and drop this line cold. You'll sound rehearsed, and she'll know it. Wait for the right moment. Maybe she just made you laugh. Maybe she told a story. Maybe you noticed how she interacted with someone else. That's when you say it, and make it specific. You have this way of making people feel comfortable that I can't quite put my finger on. There's something about how you think that feels different from anyone I've met. You carry yourself in a way that changes the whole room. And here's the secret sauce. When she asks, "What do you mean?" don't explain it. Smile and say, "I'm still figuring it out." That answer will drive her crazy in the best way possible. She'll spend the next hour, maybe even the next week, trying to show you more of herself so you can figure it out. That's when you know she's hooked. Now, if you thought that was powerful, the second forbidden compliment goes even deeper. Because it doesn't just make her feel mysterious. It makes her want to reveal parts of herself she rarely shows anyone else. And the compliment is this: I feel like you're the kind of person who has stories most people never get to hear. Why does this work so well? Because every woman has hidden layers. She might be confident, outgoing, playful, but deep down, she knows there are sides of her that people don't really see. Maybe she secretly writes poetry. Maybe she's obsessed with stargazing. Maybe she has scars or experiences she doesn't usually talk about. When you give her this compliment, you're telling her, I see more than the surface. I sense there's something unique and hidden about you. And that's magnetic. Here's the psychology. 1. It makes her feel mysterious. Instead of being defined by what's obvious, you're framing her as someone deeper. 2. It sparks curiosity. She starts wondering, what does he think my stories are? What does he see in me that others don't? 3. It makes her want to prove you right. She'll start opening up just to show you she really does have those layers. I'll never forget the time someone said to me, I bet you have at least 3 hobbies that would surprise people. Instantly, I started listing them off. My weird obsession with true crime podcasts, my little collection of vintage postcards, my guilty love for 90s boy bands. Without realizing it, I was giving him my whole personality profile, just to prove him right. And the more I revealed, the more connected I felt to him. Because he was the one who saw beyond the obvious. The trick is timing. Use this compliment when she shares something small that doesn't match her surface. Maybe she casually mentions a random fact. Maybe she reacts in a way that surprises you. That's your opening. Say, I feel like you've got stories people would pay to hear if they knew them. Or, I get the sense you've traveled to places most people wouldn't even think about visiting. Then stop. Don't push. Don't interrogate. Let her choose what to reveal. That's when real intimacy is built. Now, the third forbidden compliment takes things in a whole different direction. This one doesn't just make her feel seen or mysterious. It makes her wonder if she's good for you, or dangerous. And it goes like this: I can't decide if you're going to be really good for me or really dangerous. This is advanced level stuff, because most compliments put women in the power position. You're gorgeous. You're the most amazing woman I've ever met. You're incredible. It sounds flattering, but here's the problem. It puts her on a pedestal. She's the queen. You're the admirer. And she gets to decide if you're worthy. But when you say, I can't decide if you're good for me or dangerous, you flip that script. You're evaluating her. You're showing interest, but not giving away all your power. You're saying, I see your power, but I'm strong enough to walk away if I need to. That balance between curiosity and caution. Women find it irresistible. Why does it work? First, it shows you have options. You're not placing your entire value in her hands. Second, it shows you're not easily impressed. You're not just another guy chasing her. Third, it makes you a challenge. She starts wondering, what does he mean dangerous? Does he see me as exciting, unpredictable, trouble? And here's the kicker. Dangerous isn't an insult here. It's seduction. You're saying she has the power to shake up your world, to get under your skin. I remember once I made a sarcastic joke about a guy's drink. Instead of getting defensive, he smiled and said, I'm starting to think you might be dangerous for my peace of mind. That line stayed with me for days. Was I dangerous? Did he like it? Was it good dangerous or bad dangerous? Every time I replayed it, I thought about him. That's the effect. The best part is, this compliment works perfectly in moments of playful tension. When she teases you, when she surprises you, when she challenges you. That's when you lean in and say, I can't tell if you're going to be trouble. Or, I can't decide if you're an angel or if you're going to completely mess up my plans. Or, you might be dangerous for my productivity. Say it slowly. Say it like you're genuinely trying to figure her out. That's what makes it land. And then comes the fourth forbidden compliment. The one that doesn't just touch her heart, but her mind. It's this: you think differently than anyone I've ever met, and I can't tell if that's going to inspire me or drive me crazy. This is rare. Most men never compliment women on their mind. They focus on looks, style, or maybe personality. But when you notice the way her brain works, That's when you separate yourself from everyone else. Why? Because it makes her feel intellectually attractive. She's used to hearing, "You're pretty." But how often does someone admire her way of thinking? Almost never. And when you do, it makes her feel unique in a way she won't forget. I remember once I shared this random theory about why people order the coffee they do. Most guys would have just said, "That's interesting." But this one guy leaned back, smirked, and said, "Your brain goes places I never would have thought of." I don't know if that's fascinating or terrifying. That one comment hooked me instantly. Because it wasn't just that he listened. He admired the way my mind worked. Save this compliment for deeper conversations. Use it when she's opening up, sharing her thoughts, her passions, or her opinions. Say things like, "The way you see things is so different from me, I can't decide if I should be excited or worried." Or, "You might completely change the way I think." Or, "Your perspective is so unique, I feel like you're either going to inspire me or completely mess with my head." Then follow it up with genuine curiosity. Ask her to explain more. Let her dive deeper. That's when she feels truly seen, not just for her looks but for her mind. Now let's zoom out. Why do these forbidden compliments work when ordinary ones don't? It all comes down to psychology. Ordinary compliments are like fast food. Quick, easy, forgettable. Forbidden compliments are like a mystery novel. They don't give her the answer. They leave her with questions. They make her think, replay, wonder, and every time she replays it, she's thinking about you. Here's what they all have in common. 1. They create mystery instead of solving it. 2. They make her feel unique without worshiping her. 3. They shift the power dynamic so she's investing in you. 4. They go deeper than the surface. Energy, hidden depths, unpredictability, her mind, things most men completely miss. And here's the best part, they're not fake. They only work if they're genuine. You're not memorizing lines. You're paying attention. You're noticing things most people overlook. That's what makes them unforgettable. Because here's the truth. Anyone can tell her she's beautiful. Anyone can say she has a nice smile. But when you're the one who makes her feel like a mystery worth solving, when you're the one who appreciates her hidden stories, her unpredictable edge, her way of thinking, that's when you stop being just another guy. You become the man she replays in her mind at night. The one she wants to prove right. The one she wants to understand. And that's why these are called forbidden compliments.